Welcome to the 100 Master Coaches series featuring master coaches from around the world. Let's journey together on this 100 Master Coaches series, with your host, Coach Mel, MCC. Samia Klouche is a Master Certified Coach, with 20 years of experience as a senior leader, executive coach, and supervisor. She is specialized in leadership development for up-and-coming organizational leaders, women in leadership, and coaching for performance. Now on to the show.
Hello, and welcome to the 100 Master Coaches show. This is Coach Mal, and today my special guest is Samia Klouche, and she originally is from Algeria. She's been living for decades in France. So please welcome her to the show. Welcome, Samia.
Thank you so much, Mel, having me for this beautiful meeting.
It is truly my pleasure to have you. Let's kick off right now, Samia. I often ask this, my first question. How did you get into coaching?
It was a long time ago. And I never heard about coaching before doing coaching.
Yes.
So at the first time, I was a psychoanalyst and psychotherapist. And one of my clients, a CEO, he made therapy with me. And then he finished it, and he called me like 6 months after, and he asked me, can I come back? I need you. And I said, no, when it's finished, it's finished. You have to find another therapist, another psychoanalyst. It's not the same situation. Even if it's not the same situation. Yeah, but it's professional situation. Professional like what? Like I need to speak about that with you face to face. And I said to him, okay, we can continue our work. I mean, continue because it's a continuation.
Yeah.
But we have to make some clear frame. We're going to do it with, let's say, 10 sessions, no more. And the 10th will be the last. And we're going to make a contract.
Yeah.
Writing contract. And all these came in my mind because I was a rebirther. And when we are a rebirther, we work in this direction. We have a goal to achieve. We have to put 10 sessions, and the 10th is the time that you're born. It's a symbolic. And you don't have to continue after. Yeah. He said, okay, nice, perfect. And the thing that I add is the contract, writing contract, because it was company. And for the company, we need a contract.
Yeah.
So we run like that. And he was so happy to achieve his goal, personal and professional. I mean, personal like a CEO. Yes. And for the team, the board, he was so happy that he spoke about our work to other CEOs. And sometimes I had, I'm coming from Albert. I don't know what you do exactly, but he said that we can work together for my company. I'm stuck in blah, 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 blah. So I began like that.
Amazing. Oh,
and one day, I heard about coaching, and I asked, what's that? Coaching is what about? And when the people begin to explain me what that means, I said that something clicked in my head, and I said, am I doing that? So at that time, it was in 2000, and I heard about coaching in 2000. And in 2001, I signed for training in a coaching school. International Mosaic School in Paris.
Mhm.
And everything continue, not begin.
So beautiful. And you know, people listening in on this show, Samia, will have come from all different backgrounds. Like for me, Samia, I came from advertising and marketing as my background. And voila, I was bumping into coaching and found this love of my life. It's like, where have you been? Right? But
Absolutely.
I'm just curious because the work that you have done would had obviously wonderful conversation, already before being a coach. If you can tell us what would be some of the differences from your previous conversations and to a coaching conversation.
The difference is, let's say, when you are in working with someone in therapy,
Yeah.
you listen to the stories and you understand many stuff, but you let go the flow, you let go the conversation, the way that the person want to walk through his story and have an outcome.
Yes.
But sometimes there is no outcome. It's just let go the process, let the process go as a flow.
I see.
And the difference, the most big difference is, for coaching, we have a goal. And I don't know if the difference, but I'm just listening the process, no more the story in coaching.
Okay.
Most of the time when the people want to say, I want to explain you, don't explain. Imagine you made it. I don't need to understand everything. I just need to accompany you to see what is the best path for you. You decide it, and I'm just here like a body. I'm just here close to you. If you need me, I'm here. But sometimes I ask questions that stop you thinking. Otherwise, you are going to continue the story like in therapy. But we're not in therapy. So the therapy, you go to your story, you follow the flow, you let go, and it's okay. In coaching, the story is the less important thing, but the process and the frame, the confrontation, the questions, they are really, really different.
Understand. So what I'm hearing you say, one of the difference key ones would be the context. On the coaching frame, there is more of a free, open context, and we don't need to fully understand the context. Whereas in therapy, we drill down on the context and the past related to that context and create that sort of connection. Am I making sense here? Is that correct?
Absolutely. It's exactly. And in coaching, if you connect with the sense of the story, you are out. You're not coach. No more.
Okay. Thanks, Samia, for that perspective. And I know that maybe some other coaches would have a different perspective, but it's okay, right? It's okay. Today, it is you. And so I would like to continue the story, Samia, if you don't mind. You started with that one therapy client that became a coaching client, and then he spoke wonders about you, and then his friends started wanting that thing you did for him. So in the early days, right, when you got certified, how was that on the business element? What were the kind of things that you had to do to garner maybe a bit of your confidence as well as to be able to grow your business?
One thing was really important for me. you remember I was a psychoanalyst and psychotherapist.
Yes.
So at one moment I had to decide to stop something,
Wow.
and I decided to stop my therapist job, to do not mix everything,
Yes.
to do
Wow.
not mix in my head, because the boundaries are not that easy to understand.
True.
When you know a job,
Yeah.
some of the process are automatic. So
Yeah.
you don't know exactly how you do it. You do it because you don't know that you have to do something special, because it's a habit.
Yeah.
And I had to stop the therapy to really focus on the coaching process, that it's a special process, really different. So I had to stop therapy and just focus on coaching and on supervision.
There must be a big decision for you, Samia, to be
It was
able
like
to, yeah.
it was like cutting my arm, my arm.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Oh,
for me, I'm a multi-passionate person and multi-passionate business person. And I need to work in one direction and the other and a third one and the fourth one. So I at that time, at the beginning, I was a psychotherapist, and I made massage, and I had Chinese medicine studio. So I like mix many way of working, always with people, always to heal, to transcend, to
yeah.
transform, change, to adapt. And I had to decide that, to grow and to become a real coach, not the idea of coaching.
I love just what you said, right? Oh my gosh.
It's
Yeah,
not doing coaching, but be coach.
I know. Sometimes we have this idea, right? The truth is we've got to learn it, right? That's why we all went to the schools. We went to skill ourselves up with the science behind all of this. But there is that art side of it. It's that whole presence of yourself that you bring into it as well that is important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's true. If you're not really present, if you're not completely here and now,
Yeah.
you're not, you are a ghost, but you're not a human being. Be is complete,
So
present,
true.
now, here,
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
other, with the situation, with the context, with all my body, my soul, my presence. Nothing is separate.
I'm just still curious, right? Still, there's just a bit of tinge of curiosity inside Samia, saying, what was that element that drew you to coaching when you found it? It's like, yes, this is the one. Like, I'm just curious to know what was happening inside you.
I would like to say that it was not just coaching. Each time I discovered something, like when I discovered the psychoanalyst, I said, wow, crazy stuff. When I discovered the rebirth, I said, this is the way. It's just incredible. We can really transform deeply. When I met the Chinese medicine and philosophy, it was the same. I was completely inside. I was so happy to find this way of the energy way, and to understand everything through the energy. And coaching was the same. Supervision was the same. I think it's, we are in a long journey. The life is a long journey, professional, personal, it's not different.
Yeah.
So each time you discover something new and you want to connect to it, because deeply you need it. Deeply you feel that it's the good way, that it's the way that brings you not more happiness, but more consciousness, more presence, more here and now, more ethic. So each time I discover something who gives me the chance to connect with my deep value, for me, it's wow, not specially coaching. But because we are coach, we think that the life is coaching. For a psychoanalyst, the life is psychoanalyst. For a lawyer, the life is the law. That means we always see the life through our choice. And our choice are connected with our stories. I can see the life through my cup of tea, and some are connected with design and see everything through design.
It's so true. It's not the end of the world when you think you even made a wrong step in your career. And I'm sure, Samia, you've experienced that working with some of these leaders. And they're like, oh no, I think I made a wrong step here, but life goes on.
Nothing is wrong. Wrong is a concept. It's a mental conception. The life is the life. It's not because the night we are in a bad moment, and because it's the day we are happy. It doesn't work like that. So the wrong is the way to learn. When you win, it's the way to be more confident. But the two things are reversible. When I'm wrong, that means I can decide also that I'm more confident on what my intuition said to me, and I didn't listen.
Beautiful. And as I'm listening to my inner voice, it reminded me of how I used to call myself a marketeer, right? Because I was doing marketing all my life. And when I bumped into coaching, I found that, hey, coaching is so beautiful as well. Just like you're saying, it's like, another beautiful element that came into my life. And now it's so much part of my life. And we could invite other beautiful things to come in along our journey. That's what I'm getting.
Absolutely. The life gives us many gifts here, there. All the time we have gifts, and we decide to take them or to let them away.
That's right. And speaking about gifts, I know your years of being a coach, you would have a couple of gifts that you want to share as key insights. What would be a couple you like to share today?
One of them is be confident about the process. When we are in coaching, sometimes the client make loops.
Yes.
Oops. And just be confident that first I can share that with him or her or the team or the organization, and say, hey, I'm just noticed that you make circles like loops. What happened with this? How it helps to do or to achieve or to understand. It's a need, and just jump on that and share. For me, it's one of the beautiful insights.
Yeah.
And the second one is don't decide for the client. This is the time for him, her, for the company, for the team, for the organization. It's not my time. I'm here just to accompany, just to push. When the client said to me, hey, could you push me a little bit? I need it, because otherwise I know that I have to, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to achieve my goal. So I need your help. I need your energy. I need your presence. If the client doesn't ask any question, I don't decide for him.
Beautiful.
If he is lost, let's go for how it feels, how we feel when we are lost.
Yeah.
How can we be together completely lost? Share and let the person be what he needs to be in this moment, or
That's so good.
to share what you feel, but no more. Don't decide for the other. It's exactly for the same for the children. Don't decide for the other.
Yeah.
He, she has the solution. It's not pop up. Okay, need time. Yeah, we need time. And as I say, usually the time is the life. I need time. That means I still alive. Okay. So sometimes, yeah, but we're gonna lose time. You want to lose life? You have time. That means you have life.
Yeah.
You are in your life. So it's a gift. There is no question about losing time. And be who you are, even if it's not corporate, even if it's not logical, even if it's not politically correct. Be really who you are, because you're gonna be a model for your clients. Find your own way. Don't try to be like the others. You are not. Never ever be like the other. I can't be ma'am. It's impossible. I can try, but it's going to be hard for me. And the outcome is going to be terrible. You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
most of the client companies, they want to be like the others. Competition.
Yeah.
Forget the competition. Focus every step on who am I and how I can be aligned on my way between my values and my actions and my thoughts. Be aligned. No more.
So true. Yeah, I thank you, Samia, because all 3 points make so much sense, not just here, but it just sits, right? And it's not a common thing that I would say everyone knows about, especially the third one, where sometimes we may be misaligned so much that we're unaware that we're misaligned. But inside us, we know that there is just that bit of discomfort, yeah? And that's when I feel that the coach calls up, the coach challenges. It's a time for the coach to maybe hold up the mirror, as I often say, to show it to the coachee, the client, the team, for them to discover what is that misaligned feeling or that slight discomfort that they're going through.
Yes, it's our job. So if it's our job, we have to do it with ourselves, in our life, in our job. Otherwise, we are not credible. That means I say something to my clients, but I don't do it.
Yeah, very true.
That means I'm not aligned. I'm not truly here and now. I'm not truly who I said am I. It's not the capacity of coaching, the capacity of the person who is a coach is not to use tools. The only tool is yourself, your understanding, and your capacity to show up who you are and how this can be modelized by the client. He can decide that, oh, I want to be like that. But to let him or her this opportunity, you have to be.
Yes. Yeah.
Be a coach, not do coaching.
Yes, the theme of this conversation so far, Samia, if you recognize, it's all about that. It's about the being so far. And I don't want to fully discount that the doing is not important.
No.
Yeah, especially with the younger coaches coming in, right? Because they're so conscious about, oh, I got to remember the model and the questions and the process and so many things. I remember when I was a younger coach, I also did that, like a similar formula of sort, but I soon realized, because every coachee that came in front of me was so different, I was like, I couldn't use the same formula. There is no formula for it. So I was like, I had to go back to the drawing board, and that drawing board became an open space. Yeah, it's like a white paper.
When you are present to yourself, you don't have any thoughts, no intention. You just be like open and where the things are possible.
Yeah.
It's just a space. You open up a space for yourself inside, and for your client, and for the organization, and for the relationship. You open the space. But to open a space, you have to be in an inner space. And it's the inner space that gives the possibility for the other to be in touch with his inner space. And I can say that I accompany people to become human.
I've not really heard that before, Samia. And I find this so refreshing now, because the world is trying to show us to be something else, to say that you've got to have the networking, you've got to have your this and that. And I think all those are somewhat important in its right place. And yet we've got to be reminded that is the connection, human to human, that makes all things possible.
Right? Absolutely. The nature, the life is something huge, and we are a part of life.
Yeah.
Like nature, we have to modelize our way of life, looking at the nature, how the nature works. It's permaculture. And permaculture is the way that I just observe what happening in the nature, flowers, trees, how they grow up, how they communicate, how they transform, how they adapt themselves to the context. And it's a big path to understand and to connect with nature. Just not like the nature, I use it like my cup. Most of the time, people use nature. Oh, it's not as beautiful as I thought. Oh, I don't like the colors of the sky. Oh, it's gray today. But nature is not to please you. Nature is nature. You have to adapt yourself.
Yeah.
You can't say to a flower, oh yes, you're pinky, but the pinky color, it's not my color. But most of the time we do that. Yeah, it's not enough this, it's not enough that. I will I prefer, me. We are not the center of the life and the world. Oof. Nature, animals, vegetables, bees, so many people different from human beings. I mean, people, they are alive.
Yeah.
They are alive. And we have to be with them and learn from them, learn from nature.
I hear you saying, coming back to that whole life thing, life is everywhere when we look. And if we put on these filters that just fits us and serves us, then we're not fully seeing the wholeness of what life offers. And I think that relates back to the coachee as well. If we as a coach even sees our coachee with the filter in our eyes and say, I think this is the same kind of coachee that came, 3 months ago, then we're going to go onto a wrong path, because we're not honoring the life in front of us, who is full of variety and wonder and new things that I have not experienced myself. And so I must honor the life in front of me and the space of life around us. That's what I'm getting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because we always want to grape things. Like, so you grape a cup, but the relationship and the love and the business and the money and all this, the intention of grabbing things push you out of life, out of presence. Don't try to grab anything. Just be, observe, accept, and you'll be free of intention, of grabbing things, of outcome. I don't care. I'm in a relationship. I don't care what this interview is going to give me. It's just the time that we share together.
Wow.
Some people are going to listen to this podcast and be interested. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not a problem. I'm connected with Mel. But if other people want to connect with us after, it's a gift. Yes. But I'm not waiting for anything.
Yeah.
And when you are waiting for something, you are in jail. When you don't have any intention, you are in your freedom space.
So good. Oh, wow. Yeah. What comes to mind, Samia, is like we put on this artificial expectation, right? And then we're like, oh. And then on top of that, we don't tell people, and then we get upset. It's a whole cycle, right? And then we're like,
absolutely.
this is so bad. This person is bad. We start judging and we start putting meaning onto things. Yes, I've done that before. I've done that. I'll be first to say, But it's a good reminder. Thank you.
I'm not perfect. I'm perfectible. It's not because I say that I'm always that. It's just I'm aware. Sometimes I have consciousness, and sometimes I say, hey, Samia, where are you? Come back. There is nothing to see, nothing to wait for. Just be.
I'm having so much fun, Samia, just talking with you. Oh my gosh.
And one thing I would like to add is when you say that you don't have to grab anything, it's true. But you have to decide, because life is decision. We made like huge number of decisions each day.
Yes,
so we have to decide, and the life is also to achieve not goals, but dreams. So you have to dream about something and put your energy to build it. But in the moment, you have to let go and don't wait for any outcome. And this is the trick. You have to decide to dream and realize the dream. And in the same time, no grabbing process, no waiting for any outcome, and let go the flow. Be confident of the process that you put in the decision of achieving your goal, but let go and don't wait for any outcome. Because if you do that, you're going to be disappointed because the outcome is not going to be as your mind designed it. Because the mind is fast. Up, easy. 5 minutes, and I decide what I want to achieve. But actions,
Yeah.
needs time,
Yeah.
energy. Do it and do it again and fail and do it again and be confident. And everything is long way journey.
Yeah.
But the mind thinks that in one click, I'm going to do it easy and I'm going to do it exactly how I want to see it in the reality. But there is a big gap. It's not a gap. It's huge. Impossible.
Yeah, I hear you. Trust the process, have dreams, work hard, hustle, and yet let go of whatever that expectation is, because if not, then we'll be tied, as you said, we'll be like in shackles, right? Not free, but locked up in that cage. And then upset.
Yeah. The hand is like that and open it.
Yes.
It's open. I want to grab. I grab, but I let go. It's like muscles. You bond them and you release. If you just bond them, you're going to have a cramp.
That's so true. Yeah.
So you have to let go, to relax. It doesn't matter. It's not a problem. Let go. Be confident. I'm going to grab something different if I don't have this cup of tea. I can drink in a bowl. I can drink in a glass. I can drink in my hand. I can drink in a bottle. I'm not focused on the cup. I would like a cup to drink, but what is the most important, the cup or the water that the life gives me?
Yeah, yeah. And you know, Samia, some say that as time passes and as more coaches come in, we're now seeing this whole sea of coaches. And some even think it's, oh my goodness, it's so cramped now in the market. What are your thoughts on that?
We have a lot of people in our world. I mean, we are 8
billion.
Yeah. It's a sea of people.
Yeah.
Am I asking my question, the same question, how many flowers, different flowers we have in the world? Wow. The world is going to be a flower? I don't think so. Coaches, doctors, supervisors, cups. The world is huge of many different people, many different way of thinking. A lot of people, a lot of coaches, yeah, because I suppose it's not that true. It's just my filter that we can have perhaps more consciousness. And one way to be more conscious is coaching. But you have therapy, you have mindfulness process, you have meditation, you have sport, you have so many things.
Yeah.
It's not just coaching. I'm a coach, I see coaches everywhere. No. It's because we are in the field of coaching.
Yeah.
And the problem is when we are in the field of something, we think we have the intimate conviction that the world is the coaching. No, the world is huge and more large than coaching.
Yeah, so true.
And the coaching is not the only thing who is going to change the world. The world change, and the world doesn't need coaching. Coaching need the world.
Wow, that's so good.
Okay, so we're going to have a lot of digitalization, yeah, because a few cycles before, we do not have any car. And this is the evolution.
Yes.
It's not good. It's not bad. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So the question is who we are to think that we are the center of the world. Our brain lost us. Don't think and be. Feel. Asking question is a mental process. Each time you ask question to know the future is the way to control, to try to make the stuff as you want. Because all the coaches, ICF, MCC, all the federation, they want to grow up like a flower. So the filter is coaching, but the life is not coaching. It's more than that.
Yeah.
Don't try to control and to know what we're going to have in 10 years. We'll see. The most important is to know what we are doing now, how we are now in the relationship. Tomorrow is another day. I don't care. I'm just here and now.
Yeah.
And with the professional relationship, we have to accompany our clients to be in this path of confidence and be today, even if they have strategy for tomorrow. But the strategy you have to adapt. If you fix it too much, it's like boom, because the context change all the time. It's like a storm. You have just to adapt, transform, rebuild. So we rebuild each second how we live, how we act, how we are. But it's not conscious.
And I'm curious, Samia, everything you just said, how different have you become over the years as a coach?
I'm not the same. I was like, awful, disgusting. No, really. I was always connected with the future, always thinking, always controlling everything, always afraid of the life. And I could say I was exactly like my parent was. My parents, they decide everything for me.
Yeah.
And one day I said to myself, this is not life. So I stopped the relationship and I cut to say, I'm not a thing that you decide to do what you want with. I'm a human being and I'm free to manage my life as I want, even if it's not like you have in your mind. So I had to do, it's like the arm at that moment when I ran away from my parents. It was the most important day of my life to decide to cut the relationship, even if I had a lot of love, but this love, it's not love. So each time I see this intention, but unconscious intention in myself with my clients, it's my blind spot. When I decide for the other, when I have an intention for them, when I want to save them, when I want to give them advice. Don't do that. Be careful. All this intention works. No way. I know that I'm in danger. And they are close to be in jail. And I have the key. So the freedom is the most important. Not to be free and do what I want, but to let the other freedom and be confident that he knows the organization gonna find the good
Mhm.
way to grow.
Yeah. I'm smiling so much, Samia, because I've heard it in a different way before. And you are obviously saying it in such a beautiful way. Someone has said to me, if you as a coach try to control the conversation and lead the coachee to a destination, even when they're, especially when they're not ready for that, or they don't want to go to this place and you think it's better for them, it's a power trip.
Absolutely.
It's about playing the kind of power game. And yes, you're right. You're actually holding the key and you're trying to lock them into that box. Wow. And
It's manipulation. It's manipulation. When a parent, when a mother said, you have to do that, otherwise you're not
otherwise,
going to
yeah.
have your blah blah blah, your time, TV time, or your PlayStation, or blah. What is it? It's power and manipulation, both.
Oh, wow.
And we grow up in this atmosphere. We are always afraid. If you don't do what I said, you're not going to get your bonus. If I remember one client, it was a CEO, he was a CEO, and we were in discussion for business contract possible.
Yeah.
And he began and said to me, yeah, so you have to do this and this and this and this. And I say, okay, now it's very interesting. And what about you in this project? How you are going to be a part of the process of what I have to do? And he said to me, but I don't have any problem. The team has a big problem and you have to solve it. As I said, you have to solve it. I say, okay, but we are not going to work together, because no one can say to me what I have to do. We have to build that together. It's
So
co-construction.
Yeah.
We have to be hand with your hand in my hand and my hand in your hand. That means we work together in the same intention, but the real action has to be deeply connected with the team, with each person of the team. And they have to decide and to understand and to make their choice. But for him, it was impossible. So I said, it's pity, but we are not going to work together. And he said to me, but this is a big money, a lot of money, and I'm okay to put that for that. I say, yes, but no one can buy me. You can buy my coaching, but me, it's just impossible. And I'm not connected, I'm not aligned with your intention. So if I'm not aligned, I don't do it. Even if it's a big, big money, I don't care.
Well done.
I need to see myself in the mirror each day and be proud of how I drive my life, how I run my business. Otherwise, I live with myself every second of my life, and I have to be really connected with my real value. So the money is not the most important.
Thank you. Thank you, Samia, for saying that.
It was hard. It was hard to say that, but I never had any. It's impossible to do it differently.
And you got that honor to be able to look yourself in the mirror with pride, with your values, and with your whole being. As I close this right now, how are some ways that the people can come in contact with you?
easy. I'm not all on all the Facebook and stuff. I'm in LinkedIn. That's it. And for me, it's enough.
Yeah.
I have my website, samiaklouche.com.
Yeah.
Easy stuff. And if you put Samia Coaching, you have all my information.
Yeah.
Phone number, address, easy stuff. So if you want to reach me, nothing more easy than Google me.
Wonderful. Thank you, Samia. Any last words from you?
The last is thank you so much, Mel, having me for this show.
Welcome.
And for me, it's a wonderful chance and gift to share that time together with a free conversation.
Thank you.
It was really, really nice.
Thank you once again, Samia. This has been the 100 Master Coaches show. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.
You have been watching the 100 Master Coaches series with your host, Coach Mel, MCC. Brought to you by Catalyst Coach. www.catalystcoach.live. We will be right back with our next Master Coach on the 100 Master Coaches series.